It's swirling around. All righty, we are live. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Jane Hogan. I am the wellness engineer. So I worked as a design engineer for 30 years, developed crippling rheumatoid arthritis, recovered. Now I'm a health coach, and I am passionate about helping people release joint pain naturally by letting go of inflammatory foods, thoughts, and feelings so they can become empowered creators of their health. And this is Wellness by Design. It's a show that's dedicated to help people find their optimal health using the latest and greatest in science and mindset and all of that stuff. So I'm so excited today to welcome my friend Eleni Anastas to the show. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Eleni first, and I may have to put on my big glasses so I can see. So let me see. Eleni Anastas is a business strategist and prosperity coach who helps entrepreneurs and C-suite executives overcome money and mindset blocks so they can create the income, impact, and lifestyle they desire. She has extensive experience in business development, program coordination, personal development, education, public speaking, training, and assessment while holding certifications in business, money, and life coaching. She shares her money and mindset strategies with people around the globe. She has created and implemented assessments and training programs for business owners to increase income, client engagement, improve morale. She is also a national speaker who understands that external results only come from internal change. Woo, girl after my heart. Eleni is passionate about helping people live their best lives professionally and personally, and her innovative, no-nonsense approach ensures that clients waste no time in getting results. Welcome to the show, Eleni.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you.
I'm thrilled to have you here. And I bet a lot of people are probably wondering, why do we have someone on the health show to talk about money mindset? But I know, and you know, that the things that create positive health create positive wealth as well. It's all tied together, and I cannot wait to dive into this. But first of all, a lot of us in this space, and I'm not sure if this is the case for you or not, but a lot of people have had some event, and that's what pulls them into this space of personal development or health changes and lifestyle changes. So tell me a little bit about your background. What brought you to this space?
How I got to where I am today. Well, I was born a teacher and also born with the entrepreneurial spirit. I was raised by entrepreneurs with my maternal grandparents and my mom, very much entrepreneurs, and also loved teaching. And then my teaching career came to an abrupt halt several years ago, and it was a very traumatic experience. I was assaulted and injured by students, and the district staged a cover-up. It's my belief, because in essence, they said the event never happened. So here I am in my 50s and at home in a neck brace, herniated discs, PTSD, and wondering, what the hell am I going to do now? How do I go forward? Now, again, I was born a teacher. I love doing that. And I was already an entrepreneur on top of that. I was working with small to medium business owners and helped them get money when the bank said no. So I always had that money connection. But when I was home healing or trying to heal from everything, I thought, what is the next step? And it was a long, circuitous route and involved leaving my home, moving, and a lot of other things coming on board. And then I started to look in the future, and I couldn't get excited about the future. That was the biggest wake-up call, because I've always been, regardless of what happened, I remember as a kid saying, Mom, I know nothing's going to happen to me that God and I can't handle together. So when I couldn't get excited about the future, I was like, whoa, something's got to change here. And I was speaking with a dear friend of mine. He and his wife are incredibly successful coaches, business coaches and money coaches. And he just reminded me, he said, well, you know, all those times you worked with those business owners and you helped them get money when the bank said no, but you holistically helped them with everything else, from marketing to their money mindset. I said, yeah, I love that part of it. He said, it's called coaching, you dummy. And people actually get paid to do it. I'm like, damn it. It was right in front of my face. So I said, you're right. And I began to get excited again about my future. And I took it very seriously and went down the path, even though I already had the skill set and the experience of getting multiple coaching certifications.
Wow. Thank goodness for friends who could help you see. I mean, that's what people do. Friends and coaches do, help people see blind spots. But
Right.
that's a really scary place when you aren't excited about the future, because I was there as well with my illness, like a totally different situation. But Eleni, it's amazing that you had this traumatic experience. You took it and turned it into a catalyst for change for you.
Yes.
And now you're doing the work that you love and you're good at it.
Yes, thank you. And I'm passionate every day, and I'm excited about the future. I mean, I turned 60 last year, and I feel like I'm just getting started in so many areas of my life. So I'm still on the upswing, not over the hill, not going down the hill.
No, I'm with you, girl. So I know that they say now we're expected to live a lot longer, and with science and all that, so you're only just getting started.
Right.
This is fabulous. So we'll get to the health and wealth part afterwards, but let's talk a little bit about money mindset. So you said you help people with money mindset, how to increase what they're charging, not giving stuff away for free, and not feeling guilty about it.
Right. Well, most people have a very contentious relationship with money. And that doesn't matter if you're making 5,000 a year or 5 million. It's not the amount. It's how you feel about it, how you think about it. And I really believe that most people come up with those limiting beliefs. There's never enough to go around. Money's evil. Money's a bad guy. No one's ever going to pay me that. I can't charge that. But it's what they grew up with. And I mean, no disrespect, of course, to parents or anybody else that was influencing you, because we all learned, each generation just carries on what they learned previously. And while I think some of those beliefs could have served people well for a while or to a point, everybody needs to examine how they feel about it now, because money's energy, money's neutral. And I talk a lot about the law of cause and effect. You are the cause, money is the effect. And I mean, nothing connected to what's going on now, the global pandemic. Yes, countless businesses have had to close. People have been laid off. That's not your fault. That's beyond your control. I'm talking about the long game, the general pervasive. If year after year, you're just barely getting by or you're always in debt, then you do have to look in the mirror, because it's what's going on between the ears. You're the cause, money is the effect. So it's getting people to own that.
Yeah. And interesting what you say, that these pre-programmed beliefs, we haven't put them there. They got put there by the people that are around us or our society. And we end up just unknowingly carrying them. So that's quite interesting. Another thing you mentioned there about money being energy. It's really interesting that when you think about it, money isn't even real. We've just all agreed that these pieces of paper are going to be worth something. But it's always an exchange of energy, and that you pay for something that you are going to get some kind of value back from. And so and let's talk a little bit more about that money is energy idea.
And it is, as you were pointing out too, it's whatever meaning it has is the meaning you apply to it. And I don't think money's the bad guy, and I don't think money is evil. I think it's much maligned. I see money as a positive, energetic tool. It allows me to do certain things, and it's going to impact us all every day for the rest of our lives. We need oxygen, we need water. And how are you going to buy your food? You need money. I mean, it's right up there.
Yeah.
And if you're a business owner, it touches every aspect of your business. So staying connected to it. And I know now people are especially concerned and frustrated because they feel like the well has dried up. But that is also part of the old belief system. There's no finite supply of money.
No.
The channels of distribution have changed, but you can create new channels of distribution to keep the money flowing. And that's what I want people to connect to now, especially during these challenging times.
So how do people open up this channel to get it flowing? That's probably what everyone's saying. Yeah, I want it to flow to me. How do I do that?
Well, money loves attention. It truly does. And the reality is it's going to get attention, but it's up to you if it's going to be positive or negative. Like I have all of my clients, they utilize a money tracking sheet where you literally just record the amount of money that comes in on a daily basis, whether it's income, a refund, found money on the ground, a gift. And I've had people say, but I'm not putting a damn zero down. I'm not putting those zeros down. But when you can feel that contentious energy, again, that means the money's controlling you. You're not controlling it. If you put that zero down and you're initiating the communication with money, then you're the one that's back in the driver's seat. That's the first step, because that's taking your power back.
So getting in the driver's seat and choosing whether the energy you're going to put towards that is positive or negative.
Yes. Okay. So if you see a lot of zeros on your money tracking sheet, you can use that to look for patterns. Maybe certain periods of the month, nothing's coming in. Train your mind to think, what can I do differently? And if you're a business owner, can you shift your marketing? Is it making sales calls at different times? Is it raising your fees? Make yourself look for patterns, look for awareness. If you just look down and see all these zeros and you get that, anxiety, then you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay behind the 8 ball with money. So
that's interesting. So every single day they put down what money has come in.
Yes.
Whatever form.
2-3 seconds. You just write it down, but it's again about you initiating it. So you're tracking the money. Again, money loves attention. And I also have them set up money dates, where 2 to 3 times a month, you set a specific time in your calendar to look at all of your accounts. And I'm not talking about hours. I'm talking maybe 20, 30 minutes. Look at the mortgage, look at the bank statements, credit card statements, look at the monthly payments that you're making. Again, it's initiating the communication, putting yourself in the driver's seat and choosing to make it positive. Because I ask people all the time, if you want a rich and rewarding relationship with your spouse, with your kids, with your clients, with yourself, with your own body, don't you have to pay positive attention to them? Yeah. So how can you expect to have this rewarding relationship with money if you refuse to pay attention to it?
I love what you're saying, Eleni, and I really love seeing the parallels between money and health, because you're talking about a lot of the same things that I talk about with health. First of all, taking responsibility.
Yes.
Noticing your thoughts around it and changing your thoughts to positive thoughts. Awareness and tracking. These are all very similar things I talk to my clients in my world about. With your health, taking responsibility for it, creating a positive attitude, noticing when you are feeling good or when you're not feeling good, and then taking some steps. So it's coming from the same place, isn't it? It's energy still around. So what do you think the parallels are? How can people link their health with their wealth?
Well, when you think about having that positive relationship, and again, there are so many people, if they think I'm not going to deal with money, I'm not going to deal with that. Really, how you do anything is how you do everything. So are you also the same person then? Yeah, I've had that pain in my knee for months, for years, but I'm not going to the doctor because I'm just going to hear bad news. So that's the same attitude that applies. I'm not looking at my accounts because I don't want to see those bad numbers.
Right.
So to me, it's that ownership, like you really are the creator of your own life,
You really are.
Yeah.
I love that. I got a question. Here we go. I'm going to There we go. Bernice asked, is this much the same as keeping a budget?
No, that's a great question. And budgeting is very important because you do want to keep track of it, but it's also the mindset. It's a couple layers on top of that. Because I definitely agree that people should have a budget. You should know your numbers. Know your numbers. Because say, for example, you want to increase your income. You have a specific income goal. And you're wondering why you're not getting there. Most of us have a financial set point, and that is the average person really usually just makes just what they need to cover their monthly bills. So if you know your numbers through budgets, most people get right there. Mm-hmm. But what I encourage people to do with the positive mindset, knowing they're in control, you can raise your financial set point. So say you need $3,000 a month to cover your basic bills, rent, cars, utilities, whatnot. Make that $3,100, commit to that. That's your new bottom line. Make that your new set point, and you're going to do whatever it takes to bring it in, because you've been bringing in the $3,000 month after month. You can consciously raise your own set point. You do it for a few months, then you raise it again. And before you realize it, you have expanded your own financial worth. So yes, you have to have budgets, but you can also increase your own set point. But knowing your numbers is huge. So I appreciate that question.
Thanks, Bernice, for the question. If anyone else has any questions, you can just type them in the chat and Eleni will answer them. Mm-hmm. So there we go. So it's interesting. I always find it super interesting that people that win the lottery, for example, they win this, $13 million in the lottery, and within 2 years they're broke. And that comes from a mindset, I believe, of living paycheck to paycheck. And so it's no different when they get this huge amount of money. Their mindset is spend it all, because that's what they're used to.
And thinking that it goes back to it, there's a finite supply. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to enjoy this. And I want people to know that they can create the income that they want to create. That's what I want to help people feel empowered, because I've been there. I know what it's like. I was down to 3 cans of beans and $11, and my car was breaking down on a bridge. I'm like, alrighty then. And I immediately shifted into gratitude. And I was grateful that there was so much traffic, because that meant everyone was going slow as my car kept stopping and starting. I was grateful I wasn't driving on snow and ice. I'm always shifting into gratitude. And again, I had $11 and 3 cans of beans to my name. Made it off the bridge, dropped the car off at the mechanics, walked home. They called me. They said, it's going to take about $700 to fix it. And I said, go ahead and fix it. I didn't have the money. But I knew that I had already started my business, and I thought, I can make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. I wanted to be the receptacle for it to come. And God's honest witness, within 1 week, I had over $22,000 in commission come in.
Amazing. Amazing. Eleni, I love that you brought up gratitude, because that is such an important part of attracting, well, whatever you want: health, wealth, time, relationships, positive relationships. It's feeling gratitude for what you already have. Mm-hmm. And what about feeling gratitude for something you don't have yet, but you want? Are you a proponent of that?
A huge proponent of that, because it's having the belief of what is yet to come, because what we want already exists. It might not physically be in your space right now, but it already exists. And that's what I want people to hang on to. I knew the money existed to get my car fixed. I didn't know exactly where it was coming from, but I knew it was. And I kept expressing gratitude for the money that was going to come to me.
Bernice just had a little comment to say great advice. So thanks very much for giving that feedback. I think the same thing with health as well. And I know for myself, like it's uncanny, really, the similarities. I was down on my health, right? I could hardly walk and had all this inflammation, and I wasn't excited about the future. And I didn't know how I was going to heal, because everything I read on rheumatoid arthritis said there is no cure. The drugs would just slow it down. But somehow I found enough little stories of people that had healed naturally that I clung onto that, and I pictured it and I visualized it. And every day I would say, I'm thankful for my healing. I'm thankful for my healing. And I still keep doing it. It's not, I'm a work in progress still. So I still have to do that. And I do the same thing now with money. I do the same thing with loving relationships. I do the same thing with having time freedom and feeling gratitude for the meaningful work that I do, and feeling gratitude for the people I'm already impacting and going to impact. I think that is such a huge and powerful practice, no matter what you want to attract in your life. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. And I loved how you described that. Completely agree. If you're not grateful for what already exists, how can you expect more to come? I can remember my mom saying as a little kid, because my mom was an amazing pastry chef, so I always wanted that dessert. It's like, you haven't eaten the chicken or the potato or the vegetable. So show me that you appreciate that you have good food in front of you, and then you're going to get more. Can't miss what's in front of you and expect more to come.
It's also like, imagine if you gave a gift to someone and they didn't even thank you for it. Well, you don't really feel that motivated to give them a gift again. But if they're very grateful and expressed how much they loved it, well, then you're thinking, oh, I'd like to do that again, because it makes you feel good. And I feel like energy is no different. However you want to call that, because we are energetic beings. We are living in an energetic universe, and it's all energy. And by the laws of physics, what you put out comes back.
Yes. I had someone ask me, actually several people, and I share the story about 3 cans of beans and $11. And they said, do you really think that the gratitude is what brought it in? And I said, I can't guarantee that. I mean, I can't put that in writing, but what I do know for sure is if I had spent my time that weekend in my condo just like, oh shit, I'm so pissed off, I don't have anything, another problem, if I just looked at everything negatively, I really have no doubt that those clients would not have been drawn to me, without question.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, it's totally free. Choosing to think positive thoughts and feeling gratitude for what you want to have in your life, even if it's not there yet, it's a totally free practice. It also makes you feel calm. So I know, with the central or the autonomic nervous system, it goes from you would have been in a fight, flight, or fear situation if you were just thinking about, how am I going to pay for this? I've only got 2 cans of beans and $11, 3 cans of beans. If you were thinking just about that, you would be in a fear state. When you're in a fear state, your immune function shuts down, your digestion slows down, your zest for life, all of that slows down. So it puts you in a state of bad health as well. And when you can be in a state of feeling gratitude and feeling those feel-good feelings, you put your autonomic nervous system into a state of rest, digest, recuperate, and all of those things, all those body systems start to improve. You sleep better, everything starts functioning better. And so that's physically, but I know there's all this stuff going on energetically as well. And that's just so beautiful. I love it. I love it.
I mean, how you do anything is how you do everything. It's all tied together.
Absolutely. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit more about how you get people into that energetic state. Like, do you have like a daily practice that they do, or what do you suggest? Do you do visualization, affirmations, those kinds of things?
Well, other than, we first start with a clearing, if you will, and a rebuilding of their money story. So the first thing I do with any client is I want to go back to what your beliefs are about money. And not everybody has negative beliefs, but I want to get clear on what money means to you, what's important to you. You know, is it love? Is it security? Is it significance? You know, there's always something connected to money, and we all have a tight relationship with it. So at first, I want to understand where they're at and how to move forward. And yes, the majority do have the negative relationship with it. So we flesh that out. They learn that those are beliefs they adopted from childhood. And it's like they've entered into a silent, unconscious agreement that these beliefs are the only truth. And as with anything, like you said, blind spots, you know, we need someone else to point that out. So when you can release those, you can start to rewrite your money story. And starting with the tracking and the dating, you know, putting yourself back in the driver's seat and being able to have healthy conversations with money, because there's so many areas it's going to impact. I had a client who was an incredibly talented, creative entrepreneur, barely making ends meet, not charging what she was worth. And when I met her, I said, what's going on? And she said, well, I can barely, I don't really want to charge this. I mean, are they going to pay me? She was afraid. She was hesitant. She was apologetic for her fees. You know, she couldn't even present the number to a prospective client. And through our work together, she realized it was everything she adopted growing up. You know, mom and dad fighting. Money's a bad guy. There's never enough to go around. I don't want to see another damn bill. So the subject of money comes up. She wanted nothing to do with it. And when we unearthed all of that, and she became more comfortable with, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. I can choose another way. Yeah. And literally practicing, you know, my motto is, and I learned this from a mentor years ago, is when you talk about money, it should be as comfortable as saying, pass the salt. You're at a dinner table and someone says, pass the salt. You don't go, oh my God, they're asking for the salt. No. So when you present your fees and the investment for this is, it should be the same energy as pass the salt.
Love that. I love that. I just, in my Wonderful Fine women's membership group, it's an anti-inflammatory living program. Abundance was just our theme last month, or this month actually, for July. And so we talked a lot about abundance in all areas of your life, which I really love. But one of the things that blocks healing or health and also blocks money is feelings of resentment, would you say?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You put a kink in your own proverbial hose. You know, money has to flow both ways. But if you want to make someone or something pay for your current situation, then that's the good stuff's never going to come to you. You're going to keep that kink in the hose.
Mm-hmm. Every time you look at someone and who has more than you, if you go, ha, must be nice, or those kinds of feelings, that's just blocking it from coming to you. So it seems so simple, and it is simple.
It is.
Yeah, it is simple. And same with health. But changes are hard to make. Changes in lifestyle are hard to make. Changes in the way you think are hard to make. So you have to commit and practice, and sometimes you may need a coach, right?
100%. We all need somebody to guide us. But it does start, it's simple. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple how one perspective can shift from another. I was at an event with a friend years ago, and they had the panel of rock star successful people on there. And my friend was suddenly saying, I don't feel well. I'm going to go back to the room. I said, okay, do you need anything? No. And she left. And I stayed to listen to all their success stories, how they made their millions. And I went up and spoke with a few of them afterwards. When I get back to the room later, she was pacing back and forth. And I said, what's wrong? And she said, what's wrong with making $5,000 a month? I said, nothing at all. That's what you want and you feel good with that. Nothing. Go forth and prosper. And she started with, but we are not like them. We are not like them. So she was completely judging the success panel. And I said, first of all, stop this we stuff. Difference. When the people were speaking of their success, She ran away. I went up to them and said, "How did you do it?"
Yes. Yeah. So it's taking inspiration in other people that have figured it out and learning from it.
Yes.
That's beautiful, Eleni. Okay, so I'm going to ask you my final question, which is always, and it's about health. So it's always, what's the one thing you would recommend that someone could do today to improve their health?
100% is to own it.
Okay.
To truly own, because you are the most powerful person in your own life, or you should be.
Yeah. Love that. So taking responsibility for your health. I love it. That's an amazing first step in pretty much anything. And health, money, wealth, wanting success, any of those things. So I just love that, Eleni. Okay, can you tell the audience where they can find you?
Yes. Well, everything is branded under my own name, Eleni Anastas. I have my website. You can find me, Eleni Anastas, here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's Eleni Connects. And I'm, welcome the chance to communicate. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help.
Perfect. If anyone has any questions when they're watching the replay, they can type them into the comments, and I'm sure Eleni or I will answer them for you. And yeah, I think it's been just so great. I love the similarities between health and wealth. It's beautiful. So thank you so much for being my guest today, Eleni.
Thank you so much. It's been great to be here.
Okay. Bye.